40 below and I don't give a fuck. Got a heater in my truck and I'm off to the rodeo. And it's down, man, left and down, man, right. Come on, you fucking let me get your right step right. Get off stage, goddamn good, you know. You piss me off, you fucking jerk. Get on my nerves. Well, here comes Johnny with his pecker in his hand. He's a one-ball man and he's off to the rodeo. And it's down, I'm on left and down, I'm on right. Come on, you fucking let me get your right step right. Get off stage, goddamn good, you know. Piss me off, fucking jerk. Get on my nerves. Well, it's 40 below and I ain't got a truck and I don't give a fuck cause I'm off the rodeo. Down, I'm on the left and down, I'm on the right. Come on, you fucking let me get your right step right. Get off stage, goddamn kook, you know. You piss me off, fucking jerk. Get on my nerves. Well, here comes Johnny with his pecker in his hand. He's a one-ball man and he's off to the rodeo. Down, I'm on the left and down, I'm on the right. Come on, you fucking let me get your right step right. Get on stage, goddamn good, you know. Piss me off, fucking jerk. Get on my nerves.
You're listening to Late Night Radio on the SHR Media Network. Caution, there will be mature themes explored and potentially adult language used. If conservatarian words, phrases, certain concepts, or rhetoric offends you, tune out now.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it on to our children in the bloodstream. The only way they can inherit the freedom we have known is if we fight for it, protect it, defend it, and then hand it to them with the well-taught lessons of how they in their lifetime must do the same. And if you and I don't do this, then you and I may well spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it once was like in America when men were free.
I'm pushing them back from the saloon to the airwaves. I'm spitting it raw. Constitution's my compass, liberty's law. Big gods creeping, shadows on the land. Feds with the schemes trying to bind up my hands. But I'm the Sherpa, guiding through the storm. Red, white, and blue, yeah, freedom's reborn. They spin their tails, but I see through the haze. Media maggots, lost in the maze. I'm calling it out, no fear in my soul. This patriot's fire ain't losing control. Conservative Sherpa leading the fight. Torch in the dark, burning bright in the night. Stand for the truth, won't bow to the game. Sherpas, come and remember my name. Sherpas rising. Let this judge is twisted, trying to steal our rights, but I'm locked and loaded, got them in my sights. From J6 to the border, they're selling us out. I'm screaming from the mountain, hear my rebel shout. They mock the flag, but I'm holding it high. Stars and stripes forever under God's open sky. No globalist chains gonna cage this land. I'm the Sherpa with the truth in my hand. They push their agenda, but I'm breaking the mold. Their promises empty, their hearts ice cold. Chicago's bleeding, borders torn apart. I'm fighting for the people with the warrior's heart. Conservative Sherpa leading the fight. Torch in the dark, burning bright in the night. Stand for the truth, won't bow to the game. Sherpas, come and remember my name. Sherpas rising. storms, I've walked the line. 41 years, badge on the grind. Now I'm on the air, my voice like a blade, cutting through the lies that the traitors made. Hurricanes rage, but we're standing tall. Sheriffs of the Constitution answering the call. From the saloon to the heart of the fray, we're taking back America, no more delay. Conservative shepherd leading the fight, torch in the dark, burning bright in the night. Stand for the truth, won't bow to the gate. Sherpas, come and remember my name. Sherpas, rising and glow. Static, hear my voice resound. Conservative Sherpa, freedom's battleground. Berserk, Bobcat, rules will never kneel. For God and country, this fight is real.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show, live and direct from the SHR Media Studios. It's Sunday. It's May the 18th, Sunday, May the 18th, year of our Lord 2025. And what the hell are you doing on the air, BZ? And the answer is something similar to, I had so much junk that I wanted to talk about last Thursday night. I had Bill from Curious Cars on last Thursday night. And Bill said, like a lot of guests tell me, Bill said, I got enough for 15 minutes, maybe, 30 minutes, at most an hour, but I am not going over an hour. My voice isn't going to make it. I don't have enough stories. There's nothing you can do to force me. So 2 hours later, I wrapped up the show. And that's how that shit rolls. Because when you're having fun on a podcast, that's the whole shindig right there. I had a blast with Bill from Curious Cars. Now, Bill is not going to tell me his last name. He's just Bill from Curious Cars. And if you want to see his, he reviews cars that happen to be, you guessed it. Go find him on YouTube. The dude is great. I had a wonderful time with Bill. But here, let me show you something here. This is just an example of, okay, Biden isn't the point of this. The point is all this stuff up here. Are you looking? Do you look all this up here? The way I structure my show is each tab in a search engine indicates either an article or an audio cut or something like that I want to do. So I am still backed up. I am so backed up that my wife almost handed me a spoon in the bathroom. That's how backed up I am. But tonight, I also have here in the saloon, I have Jersey Joe, one each right there, Joe, Jersey. And I also have 45 people watching live. Now, I'm not sufficiently smart to be able to tell you where all those 45 people watching live are coming from. I don't know. I just look basically up here. And I'm watching on, what the hell is this? I'm watching on StreamYard. So somehow StreamYard collects numbers from someplace. I have no idea where the hell StreamYard gets this stuff. And I look up here and I see how many people are watching. Now, that 45 people are watching on a Sunday show, that I made almost no announcement on. And because of it, the other thing that I want to point out, let me see if I get this right. Okay, Jersey Joe over here. Yeah, that guy. He's an Eastern. Well, so is Bill of Curious Cars. And that anybody stays up sufficiently late to be with me, like, for example, right now, it's 11:09 where you are right now, Jersey Joe. Is that not correct?
Oh, sorry. Yes. Just let you know, I'm only going to be able to stay on like maybe 3 minutes, 30 seconds of 4.49.
Okay. All right. Which means you'll be on for maybe half hour or something like that. Like everybody else tells me. But
I found the song, by the way, that we were discussing.
Oh, what was it?
Muck Sticky. Fuck off.
Muck Sticky. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to, excuse me one moment, please.
This was something we were trying to find pre-show and it kind of.
Okay, I'm just going to point it up here in my search engine.
I just threw it up on share if you want.
All right. Oh, here we go.
All right.
We'll
just real quick.
Okay.
Yeah. This is for anybody who needs to tell somebody to fuck off. Well, hi, go fuck yourself. Suck a bag of dicks. Eat a big old pile of shit. Wash it down with camel piss, you stupid bitch. Lick my tits. Polish all my naughty bits. Kiss my fanny, tell your granny she got shitty grandkids. Pull my finger, smell my butt. Sit and spin, buttercup. Tell your mama and your daddy they can lick my fucking nuts. Cuddle up to my balls, then wash my dirty drawers. I have
Stop that just for a second because I'd like to make a point. Okay, and the point is, folks, when you come here on a Sunday night, if you expect a couple of mature people to talk and discuss about really mature stuff, boy, are you in the wrong program right now. 48, 49, 50 people watching live who must, for whatever reason, like this kind of stuff. But before I continue, I got to tell you that at the beginning, see, occasionally, a lot of people don't know that I will play a song at the beginning. I will do a pre-show, if you will, and I'll play a song before the show actually begins. Now, if you happen to see this before the show, that's a general indicator that the song I'm going to play before the show might not be sufficient for work, that you might not want to blurt it all around the office, or you might want to wear headphones or any of those kinds of things. Who do we have in the chat right now? Oh, by the way, I should tell you that the song that I played before, the intro song, is called the Rodeo Song. And I can't remember who sings it, but if you go into YouTube and you put in the Rodeo Song, that's who you will find. Let's see. Phantom is in here. And of course, Jersey Joe is in here. Lost Wanderer is in there. I watched Lost Wanderer tonight. He was at 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern. What a great guy. What a great show. Comic artist Rich is in here as well. So thanks to everybody who is here. Lost Wanderer freely admits, well, I'm done making music. I simply cannot top that. Oh, let me please, if you will allow me to say, if you missed the show where it ended up going one direction and it went entirely another with Lost Wanderer, go dig that show up out of Rumble, BZ's Saloon on Rumble. That was a fabulous show because the reference is Lost Wanderer makes music, and he's a musician, if I'm not mistaken. He already himself plays 21 musical instruments and then uses that accumulated knowledge, that's knowledge in French for all of you, and he makes songs in Suno digitally, and they are abso-damn-lutely gorgeous. Let me also stop here just for a moment. I'm going somewhere with this show. This is, folks, God dang it, I knew I forgot something. God, in the promo to the show, I said it's a free bonus Sunday show. And it's because I just had so much junk going on. Yeah, it's free.
We're not charging them?
No, we're not charging a thing. It's a free Sunday night bonus show. It's because I had too much gurp backed up in my bile ducts. I had to clear the baffles and just go absolutely crazy Ivan, because when I don't get to express myself sufficiently, then I just have to come out and do another show. Let me also do this. I don't know why, because nobody ever calls, but I'm going to do it anyway. If you're interested, the phone lines are open. You can see them down below. It's 916-835-3329. Nobody has any temerity. That's okay. I perfectly understand. I do that so that I can distract myself from, I don't know, something else. And I distracted myself sufficiently that I didn't even get to do my opening for the show. And so I'll do my actual close for the show. Going back to the original, I want to draw everyone's attention to, speaking of digital stuff, I like this. Let me pull.
There's some breaking news coming out of the House.
Oh.
Actually, Chip Roy, just posted 24 minutes ago that the Budget Committee has advanced the reconciliation bill. It finally passed through.
Okay. Which is really funny. I talked about it.
Sorry to distract you on that.
No, that's fine. That's fine. 58 people watching live on a Sunday. My show on a Sunday live. That's nuts. That's nuts. What the hell is wrong with you people? You need to go out and balance your checkbooks. That shows you how old I am. Clean your fish tanks. I mean, why cut the hair around your dog's butt, okay? So it doesn't get caught. Do something really important other than watching this show. But for those of you who are here, I really appreciate it. Last Tuesday, Steve Scalise, I remember him saying that I believe by Sunday, at the latest Monday, but I believe that Sunday, we're going to have this bill and we're going to be able to push it through. Now, because I'm not aware of it, if you could, as I'm chatting and wasting everyone else's time, I'm curious if 3 objects got through this bill. One was no taxes on overtime, no taxes on tips, and no taxes on Social Security. I'm very curious about those things. I think those are critically important for.
Well, some of the things I heard some liberals talking about today, that's technically not in the bill, which I'd like to know how they know what's in the bill when no one's really seen the bill. But they said it's a tax write-off. It's supposed to be, but I don't know exactly. Again, as I said, you had a bunch of liberals on X telling us what's in the bill and what's not. But I know what did get moved is the time frame when the Medicaid work requirement goes into effect. He doesn't exactly say when, but it still has a bunch of the Green Deal crap in there that he wasn't happy about.
Wonderful.
Chip Roy and 3 others, they voted present, but they did not vote for the bill.
All right. Well, you will not get 100% of anything through the Republicans. That's just not going to happen. One thing I want to say is we are really super damn close on SHR. And maybe you get tired of me pumping this, but I'm really curious about what's going to happen. When I say that, if you would, please subscribe to the SHR Media YouTube channel. You may be watching there. If you're in the chat room, that's where you're watching. Always a great place to watch from the SHR Media YouTube channel. And then you can jump into the chat room itself, like the other people have already done. You've seen them. We are 25 people away from making 500. And apparently when you do that, you somehow something clicks in YouTube. You unlock some kind of a community tab. You get increased visibility for the channel, and we are more readily found in searches, and then they can make it sort of a step towards monetization. I myself am not that interested in monetization, but if we can make a couple of bucks just to pay whatever, that would be a nice thing too. I told you at the beginning of the show that I had too much gurp just backed up in my bile ducts, and it's a free show, no paywall, just pure unexpurgated BZ. But there's one thing in a lot of shows, in a lot of websites, that jerks my chain. And depending if you go to my website, bloviatingzeppelin.net, my headline up there, my header will be something similar to no toe fungus ads. If there's one thing that I don't know why, if there's one thing that jerks my absolute damn chain, is going to some website and it's nothing but clickbait, and 90% of that clickbait is toe fungus ads. Excuse me while I throw up a lot in my throat. Toe fungus ads. If I see, I don't care how viable, how relevant that website is. If I see toe fungus ads, I will never go back. Oh my God.
And I do have an answer to that question.
Oh, okay. Then please. Okay. See that smooth transition here in the saloon from toe fungus ads to
the House Budget Committee. They passed it on a 17-16 vote tonight. And it includes a provision to eliminate federal income tax on tips and overtime.
Okay, that
was the original question I asked, and then I researched for Social Security.
Okay.
And yes, the recent budget bill advanced by the House Budget Committee includes provisions to eliminate federal income taxes on Social Security benefits. Now, that just means it's passed committee. Now it has to go to another.
Must move on. But, that's a wall that had to be besieged, and it was.
Yep.
So in all, that's a good thing. Speaking of good things, I have to put this up right now. The Democrats, I have to say, they love one thing, and that I tried making this bigger. Now you'll be able to hear it, but you won't be able to see it very well. This is an argument made by Democrats against Doge. Oh, God dang it. All right, here we go.
Suggesting that the government should stop dumping all of our money into an enormous hole. Is it time to close the national money hole?
That kind of talk is alarmist and irresponsible.
America needs the money hole.
Right. Driving truckloads of money out into the New Mexico desert and dumping it into a massive pit is one of America's greatest traditions.
It's a national treasure.
Look, no reasonable person is advocating that we are going to stop destroying money. But the American people earn that money. They have the right to decide how it should be destroyed.
Well, so you are in favor of personal money holes?
Yes, people should be able to dump money into a hole in their backyard or flush it down the toilet. Let the free market decide the most efficient way of destroying money.
My father worked 2 jobs so he'd have money to put in the money hole, and he never complained.
Now, you can't depend on private money holes to destroy that money.
Duncan's right. I mean, some of this money could blow away.
Yes.
Some of it may not be correctly buried. I mean, there's too many variables.
That's why the government pours gasoline into the money hole and lights it on fire to make sure all the money is destroyed.
I love the money fire.
It's just like they say, you have to throw money in a hole and set it on fire to make money.
Okay, but find the cheapest way to destroy that money, like shredding it up and feeding it to hogs.
Tell that to the digger who's worked the graveyard shift for 20 years. God. Digging the hole is all he knows.
The sheer number of shovelers that it takes to maintain that hole.
But if we're talking about closing holes, I mean, what about the soldier hole? How about the energy hole? I mean, I can't believe that closing the money hole is even on the table.
Why are you pushing this pro-hole agenda? Is the money hole lobby paying you?
I resent that accusation. I do not take money from special interests. And if I did, I would throw it right in the hole because I am a patriot.
If you love America, you throw money in its hole.
All economic facts.
If you love America, you throw money in the hole. I don't think I can help. Hey, thanks to Mike. Welcome to Mike.
Please tell me that was a joke. That wasn't a real conversation.
Welcome to Comic Artist. Welcome to Phantom. Welcome to Lost Wanderer. Welcome to the people that I just welcomed in a welcoming fashion. And the answer is, was it true? Folks, was it true? You decide. And the answer is, what do you think?
I'm scared that it is true.
No, luckily it is not true. I know. I had to stop, but I have something up here. See, folks, this is why you watch me, because I find only the finest lewd songs for everyone on a Sunday night. And I also find some of the greatest videos that you've never seen, including this one. Now, a preface. This is real. This is Jimmy the Leak Comey about to take the stage. I'm not even sure where it is. Truly, it is immaterial where it was. But this is a guy. Let me put this up here right now. I'll add it to the stage. Okay, see this guy's head right here? Watch the left side of the screen and then listen to what this guy says. He is, let me turn the sound on. He is fabuloso. Go.
Yeah! James Comey! James Comey! The fired FBI director, James Comey! The deep state hero, James Comey! The Democrat hero, James Comey! You did it! He illegally investigated Donald Trump. Thank you, Comey, for weaponizing the FBI against Donald Trump. Thank you for covering up Hillary Clinton's crimes and setting the stage for the FBI to cover up the Biden crimes too. Come on, y'all. Let's hear it for James Comey. Come on, we love the FBI. We love the federal government. Why, you guys, why? You don't love the FBI? You guys don't appreciate James Comey weaponizing the government against Donald Trump? Come on, James. You should be happy. Donald Trump is the bad guy. We should be happy Comey weaponized the government against Trump.
See, but here's the deal. If Democrats had half a wit in their entire bodies, somebody in that audience would be standing up and applauding that guy saying, yeah, you're stupid. You're really stupid. We're here to see Jim. And yes, we are Democrats and we love him. No, there is no a scintilla of wit or humor in any Democrat audience. But I had to put that up because, folks, that's real. That kind of stuff, I love that kind of stuff. Oh, no, let me back up here.
Well, they don't like it when it's done to them, but when they
no,
that's perfectly acceptable.
No. It's like the kid in Dirty Harry, Zodiac, or Scorpio in Dirty Harry, who said, no. Also, the Phantom points out, hey, we got one more subscriber on YouTube, 24 more to go. That's fabuloso. However, I decided that I had to go back into show notes here in just a moment because I have to make an announcement. Part of the reason that I wanted to do a show on Sunday, no matter where the hell it goes, because it's already off the rails, and I'm not sure I know exactly where it's going at this point, which is okay. It's my damn show, and it's Sunday, and I'll do whatever the hell I want on my show. But I wanted to have an additional show on Sunday, not just to make up for the stuff that I didn't get to cover before and clear the baffles and do a crazy Ivan and all that kind of good stuff. But my last show for about a week is going to be this Tuesday, because Thursday I'm going to be gone, and probably next Tuesday I'm going to be gone. And I haven't taken a vacazione. This isn't even actually a vacation. I haven't taken an actual, me and Mrs. Beasy have not taken an actual vacation since 2019. That is to say, where we go someplace, we plan a vacation, we plan a visit, we go have fun, and we do it for a week or 10 days or something like that.
Was that 2019 BC?
2019
BC.
Yes. That was before we discovered chert and limestone. So it was a while ago. You make an excellent point, Jersey Joe. And by the way, folks, we're going to have this later on during the break. Am I coming close to a break? Yeah, I am going to be doing breaks tonight because my dog, who is below here, and I'm going to talk about my dog in a moment. I don't have Action Dog Cam working. That is so depressing. But anyway,
doggo cams.
I want doggo cams. But anyway, this is Jersey Joe. Jersey Joe happens to be the Ever of Common Sense. And you'll be hearing about his promo in just a moment. But I want to say this is where I'm going this weekend. And I'm going to see Dr. Jeff Meldrum, who is a professor of anthropology. And he is, I guess you could call him a Bigfoot researcher, Sasquatch researcher. More appropriately and properly, he's an investigator of hominids. And so I'm going to the big conference 2025, which is in Colorado. And I know it makes me cringe to think that I'm going to be driving to Colorado, and I'm certainly not going to be driving and putting miles on the BZ mobile. But Dr. Jeff Meldrum is there. He is actually a very respected hominid professor and speaker. He probably has 50 to 100 or more castings of what may be Bigfoot, Sasquatch feet. There are some other speakers that are going to be there. That's a one-day event, but it's going to take us 2 days to drive there.
So he's the Al Bundy of animals?
He's the who?
Al Bundy?
He could be if you didn't involve shoes or socks. Now, if you're just talking about feet, because wasn't Al Bundy a foot fetishist?
No, a shoe salesman.
I know, but I think Al Bundy was a shoe fetishist or a foot fetishist. Don't you? Hey, folks, if you agree with me, you can jump into the chat room at the SHR Media YouTube channel. Got another comment here. Let's see what's going. I like this one. Mike says, I am a cantankerous bastard. No shit. Show notes. Who uses show notes hides my 20 pages of stuff from earlier, which reminds me, if anyone would remind me when I come back after the break, ask me about Lost Wanderer. Ask me how I know Lost Wanderer, and ask me why I happened to watch his show tonight, and ask me why I watched his show tonight as well. And with that about foot fetishists, see, I never thought that I would be doing any of this stuff on my show. Why would I? I don't know. Let's take a break. Why not? You know, I think it's time. My brain needs to be brought back to reality. Pretty please, if you would, okay?
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Mission log. Entry. I mean, let's face it, who's even counting anymore? The Lost Wanderer is officially off course, chasing rogue rocket launches, fringe science, and things that probably violate causality. If it burns fuel, bends time, or makes scientists very uncomfortable, yeah, I'm probably going to talk about it. Every other Sunday on KLRN Radio, The Lost Wanderer, because space doesn't come with a roadmap, and honestly, I wouldn't follow if it did.
Hello, I'm Matt, a student at Hillsdale College. Here is Hillsdale President Larry Arnn on the continuing relevance of the Constitution.
Many argue today that the Constitution is outdated because it addresses problems peculiar to the 18th century. Some parts of the Constitution do read rather quaintly. Consider the injunction against titles of nobility in Article 1, Section 9 of the Constitution. But is that so outdated? The purpose of the injunction is to prevent the government granting special privileges to some for partisan reasons. This strikes at the heart of the rule of law. The crony capitalism so common today is a place where the government bestows favors and tax dollars on some businesses to give them a leg up over others. This is exactly the kind of thing the Constitution was meant to prohibit. The Constitution is not so outdated after all.
This Constitution Minute was brought to you by Hillsdale College. To join the national conversation on the Constitution, go to constitutionminute.com.
Hey fellas, are you mission ready? You need to check out Mission Ready Men via Earl Big E Jackson on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central, and noon Eastern. It's a show that equips you to navigate our society's challenges from a biblical perspective with courage and conviction. Tune into Mission Ready Men as we examine our culture through the prism of biblical truths, teachings, and how to apply them in our daily lives. Prepare to step up, stand out, and step into your role as a man as ordained by God. That's Mission Ready Men, hosted by Earl Jackson on the SHR Media Network. And get mission ready.
Want to make an immediate difference in the life of a critically ill child? You have the ability to do that right now. Make a donation to Dream Makers for Life, the organization that restores dreams to seriously ill children and their families. You can sponsor a dream pack for a child, which contains a clear PVC backpack, a dry erase board adventure coloring book, a journal, and dry erase markers to inspire a critically ill child to envision a future adventure and hope. Want to become a dream maker for life yourself? Go to dreamforlife.org. That's dreamforlife.org. Help a child. Help a family. There is always hope.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Thanks, folks. It's 8:33 Pacific, 10:33 Central, 11:33 Eastern. Tonight with me, I have Jersey Joe, who is in the show and in the know. In the know, in the show, and is not slow. And he's here. There are 68 people watching live on a
Sunday.
It's just like, where does this come from? Where are you people from? Why aren't you doing other things? I just don't understand it. So I told you that my last show this week is going to be on Tuesday. I'm not going to be here because I'm going to a big conference, as I indicated before the break, and that happens to be in Colorado. The other thing I want to bring here is, and I don't have Action Dog Cam. But we're finally beginning to understand that our little boy here, this is Jake.
Oh.
Jake is gonna be 11 in August, if I've got that right. Jake is probably not going to be with us too much longer. We took him, he's on every medication you can think of. The guy has had just a hell of a nasty life. If you've ever been around, well, obviously he's a rescue dog. We rescued him almost 4 years ago. We had a rescue dog pass away last year on Father's Day. That was Angus. And this one we got first, we fostered him. And then we decided after having fostered him that we were going to take him in. And so he's been our little pal. But have you ever been around a dog where you realize in a sad way, the dog is kind of not present? What I think occurred a long time ago, he came to us with a big wound on his back, a big open wound. And he had a tumor removed. Then we had to have a second tumor removed. There had to be a second surgery. What I think occurred to him, he was from a kill shelter in Contra Costa County, which is in California. And he got sent to a foster to get out of that particular shelter. Then we saw him. We decided we would foster in the process of deciding whether we would take him and rescue. And of course, we wanted to take him. But I think what occurred to him a long time ago is that there was some kind of initial really big trauma in his life. I think he was either hit, he was on the street, he was either hit or beaten by people, or I kind of think he got hit by a car. And so anything that you can think of that was bad that could potentially have happened to him has happened to him, is happening to him, and we're just his caretaker right now. He's one of those dogs where he's a cute dog. He's a beautiful dog. We call him Khaki Pants because, well, here, let's see. He's khaki, and we call him Jake because of Jake from State Farm, because Jake was always wearing khakis. But he has, he's just been off. He's an off dog. He's a lovable dog. He has a great generally disposition, except when he doesn't recognize you. When he doesn't recognize you, he'll try to bite. Well, in the meantime, he's gone totally blind in his right eye. He's just about blind in his left eye. He has very bad cataracts that you can see. And he has seizures. And he doesn't walk very well. Other than that, I probably should have called him lucky. But he comes with a big bag full of issues and problems. He's on medication. He has a tumor on his liver, which we were told for a mere $12,000, you can get surgery on him in another state, in Washington. But there's no guarantee that the surgery itself wouldn't kill him. And then if it didn't kill him, there's no guarantee that the surgery would work either for $12,000. So in the meantime, we think the tumor has been squeezing his liver. He's been losing a lot of weight. If he makes it in the next couple of months, there isn't much we can do. We can try to give him palliative care. He takes an injection for pain about every month and a half or so. He takes another injection for arthritis. He's really stiff. He's not quite 11, but the dude has led a really tough, difficult, hard life. And our job was just to try to see if we could give him his best life and just hope that he either recovered, in the past 2 months, on a 22-pound dog, he's lost 5 pounds, which is a lot of weight. And oddly enough, Rich talks about Evelyn, a modified dog. Yeah, I know what that's in reference to. Hitler, strange name, says, "Oh my God, what a cute dog." Okay, thank you, appreciate it. So our fingers are crossed. We're coming up to Father's Day next month, which is when we lost our last rescue dog, Angus. Dear God, just don't let him pass on Father's Day this year. I would rather do anything. Okay, you know what? How about we just move along? How about we go to something like this? How about we go to Jim Comey, who wrote this in the sand. Now, if you can't see, but it should be big enough for everyone to see, in shells and pretty shell.
I thought it meant happy birthday.
In yes, it says 8647. And you know that really doesn't mean anything. And the people on the right and conservatives have gotten all upset over absolutely nothing. Nothing. You know, some people, air quotes, some people have said that that's Jim Comey in advocacy for removing and or killing President Donald John Trump, OMB, Orange Man Bad, the guy with the dead orange cat on his head. And then I had to think me some brain power and then put it into D for drive. And this is what I came up with after I got onto the Mark I Model 1 internet, which for me really isn't much further than this thing right here. And it's the whole shindig for my show. I don't make anything up. And the reason I don't make anything up is I don't need to. So I bring the articles and the videos to you by way of the internet right here that the American media maggots choose to ignore with great intent. So would it shock everyone, including you, dear sir, Jersey of Joe, to discover that I unearthed things similar to this, that James Comey, former director of the FBI, knew precisely what he was doing when he decided to be clever and do this in the sand. Now, one thing that I need to point out is that it's complete coinkydink that the post that he shipped out, James Comey, was created just a week prior to James Comey's new book coming out. That's a shocker. I also know a few things about Jim Comey, and I also know a few things about the USC, the United States Code, because I used to work for these guys for a while. So what I discovered is, I hope you're sitting down, all is Jim Comey was an assistant U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York, SDNY, as AUSA, which is assistant U.S. attorneys. And AUSAs are the guys that receive packages from federal agents, and they want them perfect. They want them all gift wrapped just perfect, because there isn't really an AUSA that doesn't eventually want to be a federal judge or maybe even an FBI director, because that's how that rolls. So Jim Comey was an AUSA for the SDNY, Southern District of New York, from 1987 to 1993. Now, it shouldn't really additionally surprise you that he prosecuted organized crime, like cases like U.S. versus Gotti, John Gotti, 190 CR 0105T, in which John Gotti used the term 86 to indicate killing mob informants and rivals.
No.
Yeah, that information was used to secure murder convictions in RICO cases. Wait, that Comey handled. Now, in a case called U.S. versus Salerno, earlier in 1987, where mob killings were referenced as 86ing someone or one another. Also used and referenced is in a 1986 prosecution of organized crime by the SDNY, the Southern District of New York. Comey worked the Gambino case also. So we are clearly to believe that James Jimmy the Leak Comey had no idea what 86 meant. So what occurred is James Comey lied. I can't think anything other than quite nakedly to our faces. Well, I thought I'd bring this up just in the interest of being interesting. Here are some federal offenses. 18 U.S.C. 871, threatening the president. This is what the Secret Service investigates. Up to, you can be subject to incarceration up to 5 years, $250,000 fine, 3 years supervised release. And then USC 18373, soliciting violence against the president, punishable by up to 7 years. Now, the interesting point in contrast is this. In a Washington Post opinion piece, March 7th, 2022, James Comey says, every January 6th case matters. Now, I speak leftist, so please allow me to translate. In the story, he says, even if that individual is guilty of a misdemeanor, zero tolerance is an overused phrase, but it fits here. If a lasting message of general deterrence is to be sent. Well, this is the point at which BZ says something similar to goose, meet gander. So if that's okay, then this would be okay as well, comma, wouldn't it? Well, what does this mean, BZ? Because, we're all about numerology and numeral references. Well, we know what 86 means. What does 11 mean? Well, if I were to tell you something similar to 11 is the number. Oh, wait. There's a hand in the audience. Please go ahead.
Can I take a guess?
Yeah, please, sir.
James Comey was the 11th director.
Wait. And there we go. And also, let us not get out of there.
But also, we might want to
excuse me just a second. I need to wake up my producer. Okay, wake up. Jesus, I pay this guy about 28 cents an hour, and he does this to me, ignores me. I can't have it.
You're overpaying him. I tell you. Could also the situation be that maybe James Comey needs to go see a doctor's about Alzheimer's?
Huh.
I mean, if the ex-director of the FBI, who was in charge of mob cases in New York, doesn't remember or know what 86 means, maybe he's suffering Alzheimer's.
Oh, wow.
Or just lying.
Yeah. Oh, now this is interesting. I do have to pause here just for a moment. So, folks, I know. Remember, the trouble is not in your set. Mike Pasqua asks, where is that slacker SP Lewis? Now, Joe, should I tell them or not?
I put it in chat right under that he's barbecuing and drinking.
Okay. Lost Wanderer says, Sean is slacking big time. Wait a minute.
Do we expect anything?
That's correct. That's correct. But then you answered, and up till now I hadn't seen it. He's barbecuing and drinking with a good friend. So there's, as far as Sean is concerned, that's an excellent reason for intentionally avoiding the show tonight.
He will be flogged later on for missing this show.
Yeah, he will be sorry. He will be flogged. Flougd. I think I've got it right. And Lost Wanderer said, so he had intimate knowledge of the mob from there and understood what 86 meant. Well, yes, quite frankly. I could speak quite beazily, but I always speak quite beazily. Beazily. Is that a word, or did I just create a word? In any event, I want to show everybody this in reference. This is going to be a little difficult to see. I wish I could make this bigger, but I will point out something as well. Now, this happens to be Gretchen Whitmer right here, this face. And Gretchen Whitmer is the governor of Michigan, Muzzy Central for the United Snakes of America. And if you look down here in the lower left picture, the circle is around a set of blocks, maybe building blocks, number blocks. But here in this photo as well, it says 8645. I had to look close because that's so far away. So apparently this is not something new. It's not a new thought, except that James Comey thought that it was cute and funny and amusing in order to update it with 47. Now, some time ago, and for quite some time, I've said leftists really have no sense of humor, but apparently this is Jim Comey, all 6'8" of him, trying to let everybody know that either he has a sense of humor or he means what he says, knowing full well what 86 means, knowing full well that the person with whom he is pointing his finger has already had 2 successive, potentially 3 assassination attempts made on him live. So I don't find this uproariously funny. Maybe Trump did. Maybe Trump decided to just pass it on. But if I'm not mistaken, Comey himself got a little on the door from the Secret Service. And I think also there was another individual aligned or linked with Comey in some fashion who likewise received.
Although it was Krastine, and he got Secret Service visit too. He's just a liberal mouthpiece on X, and he was, oh my God, this is proof that Trump is authoritarian. I put 8647, and I had the Secret Service sent to my house by Trump. No, you made a threat. I didn't know it meant that. It doesn't mean that. 86 doesn't mean to kill. Please. Everybody keeps going, well, in the restaurants, we 86 this dinner when people are done with it. That doesn't mean we killed it. It means you destroyed it, you ended it, you got rid of it. I mean, it's pretty plain to see when you change the text, or not the text, but the subject of the matter. You know, it still keeps the meaning.
It does. And speaking of meaning, and speaking of changing, and speaking of hypocrites, let me put this up on the stage now as well. This is from Mike Davis. I will read this because it's kind of small, and then I have 2 documents to show. And for those of you who are listening in podcast, I will be telling you what this says as well. This is from Mike Davis on X. And he indicates Professor Amy Coney Barrett in 2024 regarding Biden. The Supreme Court should not rule on an immigration case because the lower courts had not ruled yet. Professor Amy Coney Barrett in 2025, by way of mentioning Trump, the Supreme Court should rule on an immigration case, even though the lower courts have not ruled yet. That is a direct contradiction. And here you can see it in Barrett J., United States v. Texas. And you can see this, by the way, all of my notes, all of the articles in which I reference the videos, all go get agglomerated into, it's another new word, into bloviatingzeppelin.net with every show that I do. And also they get immured in show links, also at the BZ Saloon edition of Rumble, like the SHR Media YouTube channel. Only I have my own separate little channel in Rumble. And let me go one further. There's also another ruling that was per curiam in here, the 5th district. So you can read this and you can see this later if you wish. But I put this up to illustrate the rampant, massive hypocrisy of leftists to include judges as well. Here's another story that just came out recently. 8 minutes before the top of the hour break. I got I got a million of them. I got more stories. This is from Fox News. The Biden family insider exposes culture of concealment in the former administration. Now, isn't it curious, Jersey Joe, how only after the administration has passed and Chuck Schumer and everyone else says, what are they saying? 2 words: move forward. We are moving forward. Now that they are no longer in control, they move forward, and we must move forward along with them to strive for more socialism and communism. Michael LaRosa, who worked for Joe Biden, tells Fox News the administration concealed even small things like dog bites and family events. This was a group in the White House who were allergic to transparency, and I'm talking about just in the East Wing. The very first day walking into the White House, the usher was fired, and I couldn't get reporters straight answers because nobody would give me straight answers. So when people say, oh, they had the most transparent administration ever, well, the answer is, as a matter of fact, no, they certainly didn't. Now, something recent has come out about Joe Biden. And Jersey Joe, I think it was either yesterday or today, about Joe Biden having prostate cancer.
Today.
Isn't that correct?
Yeah, tonight it came out, or the late afternoon.
All right. What do we know about prostate cancer? Well, what do we know about the president? Isn't the president subject to being seen by some of the finest doctors by way of Walter Reed Hospital in Bethesda? And I believe the correct response to that is yes, a minimum of every year. Now, BZ, why are you opining and weighing in on prostate cancer? I have a ready answer, and that's because I had it. I may still have it. I have melanoma. I've survived cancer 3 times. Now, what do I know about cancer after having been a survivor myself? I know that prostate cancer, well, I know a couple of things. One, if you're a man, whether you're a trans man or a tranny, if you still have a prostate and balls or no balls, or a dick or no dick, eventually, if you live long enough, you're going to get prostate cancer, period. End of statement. The other thing that I know is that prostate cancer is eminently survivable, and it is rather easily diagnosed. So I guess what?
Just simple blood work.
Yeah.
The PSA, I think, your
yes.
blood work.
Yeah.
Elevated over.
You look at your
9 or
ratings,
10.
and then you discover, well, I'm close. I'm getting close. How's my pee stream and my fire hose? Am I just absolutely so damn clotted that I can barely get anything out? You're looking at them. But hey, it's age. Age does this. I got nothing to be ashamed of, and I got nothing to hide. I'm lucky as fuck that I got to be able to be this age. There were times when I thought I would never get here. I should have been shot and killed back in 1978. That's a story for another time. But I know this
for testing because my father had prostate cancer.
Yeah.
So they tell me you got to make sure. And like I said, a simple test, blood work, PSA. I think it's 9 or 10 and above. You need to go for further exams to determine if you have prostate cancer. For him to have the grade that he has, and he's at a grade group 5 and a Gleason score of 9 out of 10. I had 2 different sections of notes pulled up for this, actually. The high grade cancer, like a grade group 5, Gleason 9-10, can spread quickly, sometimes in months to a couple years. Rapidly rising PSA levels can be a sign that cancer is spreading. Now, it doesn't mean that it's a death sentence right now.
Oh, no.
But the extent that he has is not a good kind because it has metastasized to the bone marrow. And that can cause it to spread throughout the rest of the body very easily. The 5-year survival rate for metastasized prostate cancer is around 32%.
Well, here's the thing that I do know. What you would have, by the way, 79 people, as I indicate below, watching live right now on the show. Thank you very much on a Sunday on May 18th. Amazing. Thanks for being here. Kudos to all of you and my blessings to you. But I know this, it's an if-then equation. If they're telling the truth about Joe Biden and they're just now discovering that, then the people that have been monitoring Joe Biden are blithering, fucking incompetent idiots. They are not true medical doctors, or because he's not quite all present and accounted for, so to speak, perhaps they haven't been telling him. But timing is very curious on this. In order to die from prostate cancer, it is easily, I won't say easily per se, but it is fairly readily remedied. That was tough for me to get out. FRR, Jesus. But you have a fairly long, relatively speaking, period of time in which to find it, make a diagnosis, and then enter into a plan of combating prostate cancer. It is one of the easiest cancers to fight and the least mortal if you're proceeding properly. That's what I was told. Now,
there's two types, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm going by when I was helping my dad go through his prostate cancer. There's two basic types of prostate cancers. There's fast moving, and then there's a slow moving. The slow moving is very easy. Back the medical journals, they're talking about whether to even treat the slow moving cancer, that it might not even be worth worrying about. The fast moving is still can kill you, but it is curable. Well, I shouldn't say curable. That's the wrong word. You can be put into remission because it is
mitigatable.
But yeah, there is two types. There's a slow and then there's a fast. And it's funny how you were talking about the doctors, because exactly someone was bitching. Well, why does it care if they even covered it up, or whether the doctors knew or didn't know and it took so long? I said, because it basically comes down to, and I this was on X, did they cover it up to try to cover up more health issues to allow him to run? Or did they, or do we have such shit doctors taking care of our president that we have to question their ability?
Well, it would generally tend to make him more electable. So if you were going to decide that if Cami Cackler had not been such a terrible candidate, and if anybody had decided that they were going to circle the wagons around Biden, that's just another thing that you don't want to add to the mix against him. He had enough stuff. Let's take a break. I'm a little late. Be right back. I'm BZ. That is Jersey Joe. You're in the saloon. God bless you all for being here tonight. It is May 18th, year of our Lord 2025. I'll be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
In a world where leftists are running out of metal for the safety pins of their soothing red diapers, one man stands alone, attempting to fundamentally change America, one leftist diaper at a time. BZ, your conservative Sherpa, is guiding you through the maelstrom of Democrat leftists and globalist lies, chaos, deceit, and betrayal. Listen to BZ Saloon on select and exclusive Tuesday and Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Central, and 11 p.m. Eastern on the SHR Media YouTube channel, Twitch, KLRN, Rumble, and X at BZ Saloon. It's one great late-night conservatarian talk radio show. Be there. Aloha.
Hello, friends. You have a moment so that we may discuss our Lord and Savior Minarchy? No, seriously, I'm just kidding. Hi, my name's Rick Robinson. I am the general manager of KLRNradio.com. We are probably the largest independent podcast network that you've never heard of. We have a little bit of everything, and by that, what I mean to tell you is we have news, pop culture, special events, conspiratainment, true crime, mental health shows, drama productions, and pretty much everything in between. So if you're looking for a new podcast home to grab a little bit of everything that you love all in one place, come check us out. You can find us on X under @KLRN Radio. You can find us on our Rumble and our YouTube channels under the same names. You can also find us at klrnradio.com and pretty much every podcast catcher known to man. So again, feel free to come check us out anytime you like at KLRN Radio.
It's Sean from the Edge of Liberty. Just like the Bidens, I too am moving. Only in my case, it's days and times. That's right. You can now find the Edge of Liberty Monday at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern, and Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on 11 Eastern on the SHR Media Network. Join me as we talk politics, news, alcohol, fun, not so much fun, clowns, small kittens, large kittens, dogs, amoebas, and anything else that just pops into my mind while I'm on the air. That is Monday and Wednesday, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 on the East Coast, on YouTube, X, KLRN Radio, Facebook, Twitch, and anywhere else a good podcast is found. Please check out our website, shrmedia.com. I will see you live on the air.
Attention, all patriotic women of faith. Yep, I'm talking to you, sis. Are you looking for high quality, super soft apparel that reflects your love for country and your devotion to God? Look no further than Carry Girl Gear. Picture this. You rocking a tee so soft it's like being hugged by a cloud, all while showing off your love for God and country. Sounds dreamy, right? Well, welcome to reality, babes, because that's what we're all about here at Carry Girl Gear. We specialize in super soft tees, tanks, and more, designed specifically for the strong, patriotic woman who proudly wants to carry their message of faith and freedom. When you shop with us, you're not just getting a t-shirt. You're joining a community of like-minded women who are proud to wear their beliefs straight on their tees. So whether you're sipping sweet tea on the porch or leading the charge for faith and freedom, do it in a Carry Girl tee. Because life's too short for stiff, boring tees. CarryGirl.com, where faith and freedom meets fashion.
Independence. With that declaration, America was born. Inspired by a belief in the God-given rights of every human being, and in the good that comes from exercising these rights well. The founders of our great nation chose independence. As do we. Hillsdale College accepts no government funding because independence makes possible the good to which we aspire.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
And I'm back. I'm BZ. I'm nationwide. Well, I'm wide. Maybe that's because I'm BZ. Tonight, I have the #1 rated Reaver of Common Sense in all of SHR Media history. Right here, right there. The Reaver of Common Sense. I'm sorry. God dang it, BZ, would you get it right? The Ever of Common Sense, which is Jersey Joe right there. So welcome tonight, Jersey of Joe. It is so great and wondrous to see you in chat. I think I just put this up. Look at this. 86 people watching live right now. I can't tell you where they're coming from.
Yeah, but 86? We're in trouble.
Oh. Okay, somebody
someone joined. Someone joined. We can't have 86.
Yeah, somebody rewind the tape here. I said we have 85 people watching live in chat right now. So thanks to everybody who's watching. And if you would, as we say, subscribe. We are 24 people away from 500 subscribers. It's a wondrous and nifty thing. When setting up for this show tonight, God, I haven't even gotten to the stuff that I wanted to get through from Democrats or Racists, my show from last week. Oh, just want to shake the news. Shake it up. Do, shake it up. Political columnist. Townhall.com. This is where I got this from. Politico columnist denied covering up Joe Biden's mental condition, and then townhall.com found the lies, so to speak. So Jake Tapper released his book with another guy, Alex Thompson, whoever this guy is, whom I'm guessing actually wrote the book Original Sin. Now, I'm not going to go out and buy the damn book, but the only reason that I'm making comment of it, and I'm sure it's probably going to sell, and then, I don't know, 4 months from now, it'll be in the cutout bin everywhere. And then people will be using it to prop up their jacks for their 1968 Chevy Chevelle to change the oil under it. It might get spattered by some oil, but at least it will have been useful. What I have done in the past is ripped out pages and lined my parakeet cage. That's another suggestion, folks. You can go ahead and do this. And so the authors are doing nothing more than rewriting history, rewriting about how they stood up for everything, and we fucked you before, we'll fuck you again. And then they're making money out of this book. So let me see if I can find this. Journalists are ending up kind of trapping themselves. There's a guy named Jonathan Martin. Linked to a New York Times piece on the Pope's brother, and a user commented about that media would be better off focusing on the swelling scandal of the press covering up Biden's condition. And so this all went back and forth. This story, like all the others that are going to be covered on the show, you can read in great depth, but it's like leftists and the American media maggots write pieces, push them out, and hilarity ensues. Plus alcohol equals these people are lying to your face pretty much all the time. Then there's another one that I found here. This I thought was very interesting. And Jersey Joe of Jersey, otherwise known as the Jersey Joe, I would like your comment rebus on this as well, if you could, because this is a first. Are you asking for more alcohol over there? Is that what you're
no, I'm tapping the laser.
Oh, okay. I thought that's a covert sign for your daughter to go get more alcohol. If I had a daughter, I'd be doing the same thing. Don't worry. I would be doing it. The thing that's really disappointing is tonight's show is not fueled by Kettle One. It's fueled by whatever the fuck this is. Monster. Yeah. Except that,
the Monster.
Does that mean it's really Monster in there? Or is it clear water? Or whatever it is. Now, explain what that is, please, Jersey Joe, before we get to this.
So I've been doing a lot of 3D printing lately, having fun.
Okay.
And Saskatchewan wanted a Joe Biden bust.
Not any bust.
Joe Biden.
A gold bust of Joe Biden.
So I'm in the middle of doing painting. I have to do the aging and weathering next. But don't forget, before we go, we also have yours.
If I'd known that, I would have worn the appropriate hat. Now, tonight I'm wearing my Trump 2028 hat, but explain to people who can't see it, even though I have focused on you, tell people what that is.
The PA just stuck her head
tell your daughter, go. Hey, it's perfect timing. See, she's there right there. Ask her, punch her, and then say, hey, get me a drink. Wench. And emphasize it with the word wench. Get me and make a growl in your throat when you say, get me a drink, wench.
I don't know if you hear she say no. But this is Killdozer.
Okay.
And 3D printed, it's got to get painted still.
So does anybody know or remember about Killdozer? Okay. I don't have time to go into it right now, but folks, when it's done or on the next break, there will only be one more break. On the break, go quick like a bunny to your favorite search engine and go tappity tap, tap, tappity tap, Killdozer, and see what you get. And stop bullying BZ. Yes.
And she's sticking up for you, not me.
She's absolutely correct. She's sticking up for me, and that's what needs to be done in life like this. Brad, now this is interesting. Let me go back and put this up, because this is a good point. Thanks, Lost Wanderer. Now, if you would, I went back to the article. Political columnist denied covering up Joe Biden's mental condition. And this is at townhall.com. Now, right here, May 16th, 2025, 2 days ago, a gentleman named Brad Slager, right here. Thanks for bringing this up. Lost Wanderer. Excellent point. Brad Slager wrote this article. Now, let me go out here and then back to Lost Wanderer. And that's why he said, Brad, this is Brad Slager of KLRN. So Brad wrote the article at Town Hall. He's on KLRN every Tuesday and Thursday night. I don't know what show he has, but Lost Wanderer, if you write about his show, I will put it up here in chat. And Lost Wanderer says, one of my son's roles as executive producer of all of my podcasts is to fetch the talent a beer on command. Wait a minute. Now, you should have been fetched a beer upon command. Yes, Jersey Joe?
Yes.
Okay.
There should have been beer here.
Exactly, because it's not beer 30 right now. It's beer.
It's always
15.
beer 30 somewhere.
Yeah, but it's beer 15 right now. And the point I make is excellente. That's Italian for excellent. Unleashed Jeremy Hansen is here. Thank you ever so kindly. I remember the Killdozer. Killdozer is the second greatest construct ever. And he means that in two ways, I should think, by Lost Wanderer. Also, Cocktail Lounge. Oh, Cocktail Lounge on Tuesdays and Cultural Shift Disasters and Makings on Thursday. Okay. See, there I am.
Get back there. Talk about beer and she brings me an apple.
Where's my bell? So we talk about beer. I'm losing my shit here. Normally, I'm fairly red-faced anyway because I drink way too much potato water. Did I say that I knew exactly what was in here? No, I don't believe I did. In any event, I say, and Lost Wanderer says that, and this is true. Lost Wanderer says, one of my son's roles as executive producer of all of his shows is to fetch the talent, Lost Wanderer, in this case, you, a beer. So your executive producer comes in and holds out an apple, to which I respond something similar to, what the hell?
I
Go
thought
ahead.
I raised her right, and we talk beer, and she brings an apple.
I know, you shake your head in shame.
What am I
And
going
that, but this is very interesting.
The meetings will commence after the show.
Thank you very much.
The
But
vlogging.
an appletini, it is not. Let's go to this, because this has never happened before. YouTube came out with its top 100 podcasts.
Ooh, am I on it?
And well, we're going to look. We are definitely going to look. I wish I could, maybe if Jeremy Hansen is still in chat, he can put this in the way that I cannot remember. But if you have a certain number of views, then, and it's not that many per se, it's not thousands or hundreds of thousands, it's a couple of hundred to 1,000. If you capture that many views as a podcast, you're in the Jeremy Hansen, if you would write in chat, if I get this right, you're in essentially the top 1% of all podcasts. And when I first heard that from the Lipperinis of Jeremy Hansen, I thought to myself, as I was thinking to myself, that seems a bit weird. That seems just not right. So Jeremy Hansen, if you still happen to be in chat and you're still watching, If you would stick the proper statistics in there, and I will make sure that I read them. In the meantime, as I wait for Jeremy Hansen to do his duty, because he is infinitely smarterino than I am, YouTube drops its first ever podcast chart. See who made the top 100. So Spotify and Apple have had their own top 100 podcast charts for a really long time. Apparently this is very, very unique on YouTube, which I sense that YouTube is a lot like Netflix in terms of they don't want to tell you who's getting what. They're very mystical about that. And I think part and parcel of it is, we spoke about this. Sean, you and I, everybody else, Earl, we've spoken. Jeremy Hansen, Rocky Stucci, we have all spoken about this, that we will never truly know the accurate analytics with regard to podcasts because the streamers don't want to end up paying the proper or appropriate revenues to those people who are getting great money. In other words, until you break huge, they're not much interested in promoting you until your analytics get to a particular point, which is why we're trying to access 500. So Netflix equals very cagey. YouTube equals very cagey until now. Here's the top 100. Now, a lot of these should surprise no one. And some of these I have never fucking heard of before. So, I mean, folks, if you've heard of a lot of these, then you are better people than I. 95 people listening live right now as I look up here on the little numbers that apparently I can see, but you guys can't see above there. 95 people watching live on a Sunday in the Saloon. And then as I go down here, note how some of the people that you thought perhaps would have bigger numbers do not have, in fact, bigger numbers. I'm not sure I'm going to read all of these, but I'll read a few of them so that the people that are listening in podcast can hear. Now, number one, the Joe Rogan Experience. I don't think that really surprises anybody. Number two, Kill Tony. I have no damn idea what that is.
Kill Tony is a people are given, I think it's 60 seconds to come up on stage and do a comedy routine. And then they pretty much get roasted by 3 comedians.
Huh. Okay. All right. So I guess.
Remember the guy that did the bad Puerto Rico joke for Trump's one of his.
Right. Is that one of the guys?
That's Tony.
Okay. All right. Rotten Mango. Never heard of it. 48 Hours. I'm guessing that's a crime podcast.
Well, it's after the TV show. There's 48 hours. That kind of like the first 48 hours after a crime happens.
Okay. So it's a crime homicide show then.
I guess so.
Okay. The Midas Touch, only spelled differently. H3, Club Shay Shay. This past weekend with Theo Vaughn. Never heard of him. Smosh reads Reddit stories. Oh, that'd be exciting. Dr. Insanity. Sean Ryan. Okay. Finally, a guy that I know. Sean Ryan. Pat McAfee. Sports.
He was a kicker for the Indianapolis Colts, and he's also does commentary for WWE.
Okay. All right. Timcast IRL. I know who Tim with Timcast was. He was the guy they provided. The White House press corps provided an extra little seat against the wall, and they said new newsmakers will be able to come in. And Tim from Timcast, I distinctly recall, came in with his little knit cappy and said something similar to, "Hey, all you fucksticks out there, you guys that have never been telling the truth about what's happening in here." So, Timcast, I like you, dude. Diary of a CEO, Creepcast, Karen Reed. Karen Reed, I'm guessing, is about the chick that murdered somebody.
Well, she's being accused of murdering her husband when all the evidence looks like she's being framed.
Okay.
And I'm not usually into the frame, but they're like, oh, she ran up, hit him with a car, but yet there's no medical evidence he was hit with a car. And, there's a lot of questions. He was a police officer. And there's a lot of questions that the police force may be framing her.
Okay, so this is her doing the show, or
That
this
I'm
is
not
a
sure.
show about her?
Well, there's a lot of there's a section of YouTube they call it the law tube, where you have a lot of lawyers that go on and they'll show video from court cases. And Karen Reed has a lot of publicity on her case, especially in the law tube community.
Okay. All righty. Let me put this up right now. Jeremy Hansen answered my question. Downloads and listen through rate, but specifically Jeremy said, I said, if you have a certain number of listens, you're a unique podcast. And he said, if you get 5,000 downloads in the first 7 days, you're in the top 1%. So I guess to say in the big picture that 5,000 isn't all that many. I mean, we are far away from that right now. And
I think we're just short of, a couple
thousand. Yeah. But it doesn't all plan out the way that you thought it was going to be. Lost Wanderer says the unsubscribed podcast is 33rd. Okay. I kind of see it way down here. And the rest of this stuff here, for example, okay, so Karen Reed, Murder Mystery Makeup, the Tucker Carlson Show. That's a lot further down than I thought it was going to be. The Megyn Kelly Show, okay, I get that. I was of the opinion that Tucker Carlson was making great numbers, but apparently...
That's more on X, I think. X and Rumble, I think he's more...
Not more than Sean Ryan, and certainly Joe Rogan is killing it. And then go ahead and go down. We got 60 Minutes. Let's see if there's anybody else that NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. What the fuck? Okay, BZ, shut up. Just scroll it. Okay, I will. Democracy Now. Sure, everybody needs a good leftist podcast. Anyway, I'll continue scrolling down. I don't see a whole lot of people that I particularly know. The Matt Walsh Show, Tim Dillon Show, Your Mom's House.
My mom's out. How dare you bring my mom into this? I tell you.
I know. Anyway, the top 100 podcasts from YouTube, May 5th to May 11th. This is kind of interesting. There are some people here that I thought would be there and I thought would be higher perhaps. And this is the one perhaps that I was thinking of. Jeremy Hansen says the top 50% is 125 downloads in 30 days. Well, then we easily do that at SHR. But, like any other podcast and any other network, we are all over the place. And as far as I know, anybody out there that's listening, or Jersey Joe, correct me, I don't know of any one centrality in which one could find one place where you could go for all the analytics, where somebody somewhere scrubs the internet. And I'm surprised that nobody in AI has come up with this. Wouldn't this be a great idea to anybody that's listening right now? Why doesn't somebody have some kind of an AI generated site where you could enter a podcast and it would scour everything and come up with the analytics everywhere? Because we were seen and we are still seen on podcast places that I had no idea we exist.
Yeah.
And so how does one accurately go about determining what your numbers really are? I don't even know if that's possible now.
I don't know. I mean, I still don't have a total understanding of all the numbers, and it's
because I'm telling you right now, if there was one dude that has a big hook on analytics and knows his shit about podcasts, it's Jeremy Hansen. Jeremy used to tell me back in 2019, just before COVID and all that shit hit, that I was getting anywhere from 20 to 30 to 40 to 50,000 people. And at one time I was getting 100,000 people. Now it gladdened the cockles of my heart, even though they were clotted. But I had no fucking idea that I was even remotely close to making those kinds of numbers. And
the
apparently the analytics are such that they're doing their damnedest to make sure that nobody does those kinds of numbers anymore, especially if you're a conservative.
The one that was confusing me is the data that we looked at, me and Sean were looking at recently with Spreaker, which is just the podcast side of our show. And the number 1 and number 2 show of ours, I think they're over 5 years old. And it's 2 shows that aren't even on our network even more, on SHR Media anymore. It's Jack Alexander show and the Lid Report. They are hitting the top numbers on podcasts right now for SHR Media.
And
neither one are with us anymore.
No,
on SHR Media.
Well, yes. Jeff, I can tell you, having spoken to him, Jeff Dunnett is still alive.
Right.
And having spoken to him recently, I can tell you that Jack Alexander is also still alive. Pissed, upset, irate, but he is still alive.
But it just blows my mind, the numbers that we're getting with those 2 shows, and they haven't been around in how many years?
But see, that's part and parcel of all of this, which is numbers, analytics. How in the hell do you know what to believe? How in the hell do you know whom to trust, where to go for those analytics? And that's why I'm saying, if somebody was really smart somewhere in the podcast world, they would create some kind of an app or a website where you could enter whatever, the Ever of Common Sense, and then it would scour the internet. Maybe it would take 5 minutes. Maybe it would take 10 minutes. Maybe it would take 5 seconds, but it would scour the internet and come up with actual live, true analytics. And if somebody actually did that, my guess would be that all the streamers and people that feature podcasts, they would lose their shit and come unglued.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Listen in to the Reaver of Common Sense, where we cut through the noise of news and politics with a show equipped for bombast. Tune in Mondays and Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, and 6 p.m. Pacific, featuring a refreshing dose of reality. Jersey Joe fearlessly tackles the tough topics with no nonsense. Just pure common sense. Visit shrmedia.com, where you can hear the Reaver of Common Sense in action. He may not always be polite. He may not always be refined. But one thing's for sure. He always tells it like it is.
Are you looking for a way to boldly express your faith and love for your country? Then check out 7 Armors, the premier apparel company for patriotic men of God, where faith meets freedom in style. Our t-shirts are more than just clothing, they're statements. Bold, stylish, and meaningful. From timeless messages to modern designs, we've got something for every patriotic man of God. Wear your beliefs proudly with 7 Armors gear. Don't miss the chance to wear your faith and freedom on your sleeve. Visit 7armors.com today and join the movement. That's the number 7armors.com. 7armors.com. Faithful, vigilant.
Stop right there. On the screen, let me take this off. I want to emphasize, and I think this is really important. Let me see if I can pull the asset off here. There. When Lost Wanderer put this up, and I will stop the promotions for this, Lost Wanderer is the single biggest downloaded show on KLRN via Spreaker's numbers. He says, don't ask me why. But I have a scintilla of an idea as to why. It's because Lost Wanderer, who is JEFF, puts a ton of show prep and research into each and every single show. And if you folks haven't seen The Lost Wanderer, He's on every other Sunday. He was on this Sunday earlier at 5 p.m. You got to watch his shows. So let me throw some media assets back up there and let me continue with the promotions. But I just had to stop right now and tell you, this is amazing. And I'm really happy for Jeff over this.
Steadfast passion.
Are you looking for bold, honest conversation about the issues shaping America? Well, let me welcome you to Unleashed 101 with Jeremy Hansen, where we take you beyond the headlines. We dive into politics and culture, the struggles of everyday life. It's raw, real, and unfiltered. If you're ready for truth with a punch, pull up a chair and join us. That's right, Unleashed 101, where real talk feels like home. Find us at unleashed101.com, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and more. We look forward to seeing you. Unleashed 101 with Jeremy Hansen.
Freedom. One nation in all of human history was built on that bedrock. Ours. A republic of the people, by the people, and for the people. Self-government requires freedom, just as freedom requires an individual willingness to self-govern. Freedom has made America exceptional. But it can only last as long as you and I seek the good, as expressed by the laws of nature and nature's God. It can only last if you and I choose to act as people of character. Forging character has been the pursuit of Hillsdale College since 1844.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
It's the final half hour. I'm BZ, and over there is Jersey Joe, who happens to be the host of the Reaver of Common Sense. Before we go, we will talk to Joe. Notice how that rhymes. Before we go, we'll talk to Joe about his show.
You're a poet. You didn't even know it.
But my feet should because they're long fellows. So thanks for being here tonight, folks. I am absolutely stunned that so many people are watching. For a moment, I broke 100, and then I've come down from 100. But I do want to emphasize this with emphasis to everyone. Producer, come on.
Folks, this is BZ's final hour. Step up. Last call for alcohol.
God, it shouldn't take that much prodding to get people to do their button-pushing jobs, if that's right. And more people. Let me see. Did Mr. Ballin make the top 100? I wish I knew who that was. Sadly, I do not. Lost Wanderer. It's funny. I did it as a COVID project for me and my son, and I just try to make it fun and not dry. And you have your own personal fan, Jersey Joe, who is the Lost Wanderer himself, proving, of course, that not all who wander are lost. Heavy sigh. I have not gotten to a frazione of the stories that I thought I was going to. I hit Comey, not figuratively, folks. Come on, you're gonna narc me out to him right now. I hit Comey. I hit him. I hit Comey at the beginning of the show, and then I went through some Demorat stuff, and then I just hit some YouTube stuff, and I kind of been riffing all over the place with my good friend and SHR Media co-host right here, Jersey Joe. I know that Earl wasn't here because Earl actually has a job and he makes a living and he works hard, and Sackhead Sean is drinking his life away. But it's all a choice. Life is a choice, and you choose your path. You walk down that road, as do the Democrats and the.
See, I made sure when I chose life, there was no shows on. Last night, I took my family. We went fishing. I made sure there was no shows.
Nice. It's too bad you don't have pictures to show of something like that as I talk to the folks about my opining and my opinion on the Democrats.
I think I got one picture I took.
Because what happened recently is that Dave Hogg and this dude, I don't even know if I can pronounce his name properly, the guy with the
They go busy.
Okay.
That was my view from last night at the start.
Let's put this up now. Tell people what that is. Where are you and what are you seeing?
That is the Skyway Fishing Pier. What that is it used to be the Skyway bridge that would take you I forget what town it is, but it's the south entrance into St. Pete. It's about 5-6 mile long bridge, and I forget what year. It was in the 80s. A barge broke loose during a storm and struck one of the supports on the bridge, sending it, breaking the bridge up as people were driving across. There was a lot of people that lost their life that day. But what the state did is they took two sections of the bridge. The south side, I think, is 2.5 miles long that they left of the roadway that was the bridge. And on the north side, it's a mile and a half. They turned it into a fishing pier. And I mean, all they did is just put a bait shop out there. You drive on the bridge, you park, you get out, and you go up to the side, and you throw your poles over. And it's real nice. It's $4 per car plus $4 per occupant. You don't need no licenses. You just go, pay, go fishing. And from tarpon to hammerheads to bull shark to cobie to Spanish mackerel, pretty much you name it. Yeah, stingrays. And I'm talking, I watched a guy reeling in a bull shark that was about anywhere from 10 to 12 feet long. He was fighting it.
I have always wondered, is bull shark good eating? You got to fight the fuck out of them. I know that, but
I've seen some people. There's a kid down. I don't want to say kid, but he's younger than me. He's a top-notch fisherman, and he does a lot of shark fishing too. And he catches bull, and he flays them up, cooks them.
See, it would just seem to me that bull shark, it's so sad because it sounds like if you're somebody that's trying not to use a pejorative or a poo-poo nasty, somebody would say, that's bull shark. I call bull shark on you, man. That's just wrong, man.
See, now why I worry about what bull or any type of shark is they pee through their skin. That's how they urinate. It goes through their skin.
Wonderful.
So when they're under stress, like when you catch them, they start releasing the urine into their muscles and skin. So as soon as you get them, if you're going to keep them, you got to gut them and start soaking them in water, or I've heard a lot of buttermilk. Soak them in, and then you rinse it all out afterwards to get that ammonia smell out of it. But black tip shark, which is what I normally catch. Of course, I'm getting the small ones, not the 6-7 footers. I wish I could, but I don't think I can handle the fight anymore. Just like I wish I can go for. They got a nice population of Goliath grouper. They used to be known as jute fish also, but these things are 300, 400, 500 pounds.
Oh yeah, aren't those things that they're known to? Here, let me embiggen my face so you can see how serious I am, folks. Those are the fish, and I'm not kidding, who eat divers. They eat them whole. They open their mouth, they suck in the water, and they eat divers. And then below, right here, see this? Jeremy Hansen and you. This proves why I have some of the finest guests and some of the most really smart people on the show.
Hey,
really smart.
Lost Wanderer, no, I hate catfish. I'll cut the line and let them loose. I just cut the line. I ain't messing with them. I got stung by a catfish when I was a child. Nope.
So you don't go noodling. You've never been noodling before.
No. I don't like catfish. And I ain't sticking my hand in a hole that I can't see.
See, and this is what's really sad right here.
I don't keep the fish.
I love seafood. I love crustaceans. I've been known numerous times to wear a top hat and a pink crustacean. To be allergic to seafood, it has got to be one of the saddest things on the planet.
I'm not a big seafood eater myself. I catch and release, except for the bait fish. I keep those, but otherwise it's right back in. I don't keep. The only seafood I really like is maybe mahi or crab legs.
Halibut.
For the halibut?
Oh, halibut is great eating. Or monkfish. When you go and you go to a restaurant and you see something that it tastes like crab, it looks like crab, and it may not exactly be crab, but they're kind of passing it off as crab. 9 times out of 10, that's monkfish. It has a really good, tasty bite to it. And halibut, there was when I was with the sheriff's department, there were dudes that would go deep sea fishing, and they would come back with halibut steaks. And halibut steaks, I'm not kidding, like 1.5 inch, 2-inch thick halibut steaks that they were kind enough to give to me. And now this is Halibut and Seafood Show. This is the Seafood Podcast, right?
The people are talking about the shark in the chat room. If you soak it overnight, you can get the it'll take that urine out of the muscle, so you can eat it. But you have to prepare it right. If you don't prepare it right and you don't gut it right then and there. But the problem also you have, at least here in Florida, is you can't cut the head off. You can't cut any of the fins off or the tail. You can gut them, but you have to leave everything intact.
Okay.
Because
that's from the Asian culture, I'm guessing.
Right. And we do have a lot of Asians that go to the fishing pier, because right now, not to bitch about it, but we on the North Pier, it's really taken over by Asians, and they do crab fishing there because you're about 10 feet above the water, 10, 15 feet above the water, depending on the tide. And they got these really long pole nets, and they're scooping crab up as they swim by, and they got that 1.5 miles. End to end, nothing but that's all they're doing. And it can get a little annoying. But I had to give the state credit, because I'm from New Jersey originally, and they would have tore the bridge down. Florida at least went, you know what? We can make this a nice place for people to come and fish. It's relaxing. You go there at night. The Gulf is right there. Gulf of America is right there. Nice saltwater air.
I was watching it just for a second to see if you were going to.
It's just the waves. And you can get far enough away from the traffic of the highway that's behind you, or at night when traffic calms down. It is so peaceful. I've seen so many people fall asleep at the pier at night. It is just beautiful.
Did they fall in?
No.
The next thing you hear is
the lady at the front told me that recently there was 2.
Where'd Omar go?
I guess they were drunk. They got in a fight, and the one threw the other one off the pier.
Which
is actually dangerous, because, okay, you got all the sharks around, and number 2, that water can be fast moving, and you could be taken out into the Gulf in no time. They've had people that have jumped off to kill themselves that never to be found again.
That's right. It's what I've said for a long time, and so did Robert Shaw. You're in the water, sharks in the water.
I don't go swimming in open water, because especially when I started catching
open water anymore.
They are. Nope. No, thank you.
No.
I'm too fat. I got too much blubber on me that they might mistaken. Nope.
Yeah. If fish pee in it, I don't go swimming.
Well, if you look at it, what is it? The largest whale is what?
Whale shark.
Sperm whale?
Well, no, the largest whale is the blue whale.
Blue whale.
But the largest fish is the whale shark.
When they ejaculate, it's like 30 gallons. But only 10 gallons make it into the female whale. Now you wonder why the salt water tastes so salty. You never heard that joke before? I think I broke BZ.
You fucker, I'm going to have that in my head all night. God.
You've never heard that joke before?
And now, The House of Brainworms. Folks, thanks for watching the show tonight. Thanks for listening in podcast, because Jersey Joe just inserted a Mark I Model 1 torpedo brainworm right into the brainulus of me. Damn. Dudes, by the way, Cheetah's in chat. Now, Cheetah was an attorney. I'm not sure the current thing. Oh, hey, we broke 100 watching live again. And we now are down. I went up, I went down, I went up to 100, and now I'm down to 95. Anyway, I broke 100 twice. Yay!
Well, it's just like, how do you tell the difference between an oral thermometer and a rectal thermometer?
Wait, stop. Let me take this down and let me put myself up. And I'm going to look into the camera and I'm going to tell you the taste.
Exactly.
Huh? Right?
Yep.
Right? Jesus. Like I said at the very beginning of the show, Sunday show, and it's nothing but a couple of juveniles. In my case, a guy that's in his mid 70s, pushing 80. And in your case, I'm not going to even begin to say, but two people on opposite ends of the United Snakes of America acting like 10-year-olds. That's what the show's been tonight.
What's the use of living?
Well, that's true. Jeremy says, walleye, then halibut. I don't think I've had walleye. Walleye, obviously, I'm guessing is a freshwater fish. Yes? No? Maybe?
I think so.
And redfish are awesome. Now, since Cheetah lives in Florida, I'm guessing redfish, ocean fish?
Yeah.
One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish.
And it's not red.
A redfish is pink.
I'm thinking of the redfish isn't red.
Or burnt umber. Yeah. Lost Wanderer, please. Hey, if you would, catch up to us. Catch up. Come on. We stopped maturing as 13. Well, that's the truth.
I was free, now I'm full.
Yeah. And Unleash Jeremy Hansen.
We're going to get canceled for that one. Repeating
walleye. For what?
I said we're going to get canceled for that, for repeating a Bill Cosby joke.
Oh,
Bill Cosby years ago did that comedy show, and he was talking about the kid on the airplane. I was free, now I'm full. Jeffrey. And Jeffrey just cried the whole time on the plane. Jeffrey.
Okay. I know I'm not going to get to the rest of my story.
Sorry,
I'm not even not going to. Hey, it's the show. It's my show. It's your show. It's the SHR show. We're doing whatever the hell we want on it. I'll get to it maybe on Tuesday. If I don't, maybe not.
Normally we have Sean to blame for the derailment.
I know. That's true. Mike says blackened redfish. Now I'm guessing that's
a way of cooking it.
That's an ocean fish that you are cooking.
Blackened is the way it's cooking.
Such a fashion on a grill.
Well, it's a lot of spices and everything mixed with it, and when it comes out, it looks black.
Okay. Alrighty. And Phantom says this. Do you want me to smack Reaver for you, BZ? And the answer is yes.
What if I stand up? She's only going to be able to smack my knees.
Oh, wait for it. That was terrible. That was really bad. Cheetah says, known as the red drumfish, which again, I'm assuming is an ocean going fish, which has been known to capsize ocean liners. It's that big. That's how big that fish is. We can blame Sean for not being here. See, yeah, exactly. And Cheetah said, yes, it is an awesome fish. And we're waiting for Phantom. Anyway, that's it for the show. No, that's not it for the show. I got a million of them. Well, I got to a few things. I didn't get to a few things. I was able to make some announcements to everybody. Can I get kind of Can I get kind of squishy here for a second? Will you allow me, Jersey Joe, and people that are in the chat and watching live, well, I'm up to 95. Okay, so I broke 100 twice, so that's a thing. Thank you very much. But I was thinking about this today, and I want to go back to my little buddy here. And I was, if you missed the beginning of the show, God, where did he go? There he is. Our little doggy right here is not going to be too terribly long for the planet. That guy. And it made me realize that over the years, I may have been too pinned down over things, and I need to kind of try, even at my advanced age, I need to kind of try to shake loose and be more accommodating. As I've gotten older, one thing I've determined is I'm much more strident in my political opinions, and yet I'm a huge contrarian. Well, I don't know why the fuck I'm saying this right now. Maybe because it's Sunday and I'm not nearly drunk enough. I haven't been drinking. Alcohol may be involved. No, it isn't really. But I've been thinking that I have been so incredibly blessed that it's frequently hard to believe. I lost my dog Angus, a rescue dog, on Father's Day last year. And we're probably not too far away from losing this guy, if you heard me talk about him in the first hour. And I started to think about all the ways that I've been able to get kind of back in touch with dogs and kind of get back in touch with humanity for just a minute. Okay, Jesus, BZ, move the hell on. You're getting way too maudlin. And yeah, I am. But I've only got 5 more minutes of the show, and the ending takes up at least 3 of the last 5 minutes. So when I was looking at this guy sleeping, I finally realized that I've been blessed in an incredible way. I have an incredible wife. I have a beautiful house. I've left California, always spell it with a K. I get to get up every morning so far, and I look at the beautiful skies. For the past 3 or 4 days, it's been raining. We had incredible hail the other day. That's nothing that I used to get in California. I mean, I actually get weather here. And I have these little critters that I get to take care of. And then whenever the hell I want to, I get to come into this little room and sit down and start a show. And then I get to talk to you or anybody else on SHR or KLRN or any of the other guests that I have. And I can just start a show and I can do it. And people actually listen to me and people watch me. I still, in many ways, I don't get it. I just don't get it. But don't think that I'm not grateful for those things happening, because as I say, I have been blessed for such a long time, and I still don't understand when people so far superior to me have been killed in their teens, in their 20s. You know, I've done some remarkably stupid shit in my time. Been shot at, hit, blah, 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 blah. Should have been killed any number of times. But I never was. And there are times when I sit and think in retrospect, what was I thinking? What was I doing? And how is it that I am still here? Sometimes just conjuring and pondering this question just leaves me truly gobsmacked. And this is about the time that I say I am grateful to Jersey Joe for being here. I'm grateful to all my friends and acquaintances and the people who come to watch some fat ancient fuck that's ugly and hairy. And if I took off the hat, I have no real hair to speak of. There are many times I I am a contrarian in terms of I'm a profane son of a bitch. I believe in God. I consider myself to be I'm wealthy, but I'm wealthy in a way where I've been inexorably blessed. And I can't even think of the British guy that said something like, and I don't know why. Because I truly don't know why. I don't have any damn idea. I have no idea why I'm still here. I should have been done long ago, especially with all the things that I've done, the ways, myriad that I have abused my body. I don't get it. But I will keep doing this show, and I will keep having great friends on, like Jersey Joe, and a lot of other folks, and all the people who continue to watch me and weigh in the chat room. As a matter of fact, there's people in chat that you're already squishy. You miss Clint. You know, okay, let me pull this out here just for a second. I wasn't going to say anything about this, but it's my show, and I'm not ready to go away just yet. Originally with the SHR Media Network, the Sackheads radio show consisted of Sackhead Sean and Sackhead Clint. And then after COVID, Clint, who works for a law enforcement agency and still does, he's younger than Sean, okay? And I'm almost twice as old as he is. Okay, maybe not exactly twice as old. But Clint had to leave the show. First, Sean had to leave the show. Then it was the Sackheads Against Tyranny because Sean was gone. He had to work. He didn't have the time to do the show. And then Clint had to leave. And it was me carrying SHR for a while. And then Sean would step in every once in a while. And I've heard from Clint recently, Mike. And Clint thinks that he will be retiring maybe this year, maybe next year. And here's another BZ if-then equation. As I got maudlin, I thought of this. And you reminded me, Mike. When he retires, I'm going to ask Clint, because being involved in law enforcement as he is, he especially in California, always spell it with a K, he could not get anywhere near politics. He would be scrubbed at a moment's notice if anyone knew what he had done in his past and his true thoughts on any number of items. So I contacted Clint and said, when you retire, would you be interested in coming back to SHR? And would you be interested in starting Sackheads again? Or if you're not interested in starting Sackheads, would you be interested in starting the Sackheads Against Tyranny? And Clint said, yeah, I would like to do that. Now, I know this is difficult to understand. I typify myself as a techno-Luddite, which I am. Clint is worse than me. I know it's a difficult concept to render through your Avid server farm, but it's out there. You're going to have to think about it. I would have to try to talk Clint through a laptop and then hooking up a camera and then hooking up a microphone. And I'm not sure if I could do that. He could pick up a phone and call. I'm not sure that he would be able to do that unless Sean helped him. But anyway, to take a way, way, way longer roundabout time to answer your question, Mike, there's a possibility Clint could come back. And that's about all I have to say about that. So I guess the bottom line is, at least for tonight's show on a Sunday, is thanks to Jersey Joe, thanks to Sean, thanks to Earl, thanks to the free player who will be coming to be named shortly in the
big free agent,
the next go around. We're still negotiating with a contract, millions of dollars.
The puppy clause is the fighting part.
It's even more convoluted than my contract. And that's saying something.
I just want ice cream.
I'll pull this up right now. I'll have you people know that I was given my own SHR show, and I have it framed, ready to show you. This was awarded to me from one of the people at SHR Media. And this says, this is an award to BZ for the best show on the SHR Media Network. And I will treasure this.
You paid off the judges.
I will treasure this until the day I die. So this is already an award-winning show. But to end up and stop everything and tie it all up in a nice, neat bow, I appreciate all my friends at SHR. I appreciate all of you who watch live and listen in podcast. I don't think people say it enough. I'm a horrible contrarian and profane and a crazy guy and any number of things. And that you still have any kind of an interest in being around me whatsoever, I find kind of amazing. And with that, Phantom says, where the cookies at? And I just wanted ice cream. I just wanted ice cream. I've always just wanted ice cream.
I kept it clinging from what I actually wanted to say from The Ringers, the movie The Ringer.
Okay.
Where the kid goes, when the fuck do we have ice cream?
That's true. Well, and Sheeta says, that'd be cool. Being involved in California law enforcement explains a lot about Clint's absence. We'd love to see him back. And that's true.
I used to run on booze, but now it's just ginger ale, conversion kit. You know.
What was that song? Because I have held firm to this phrase all my life. I have to run on heavy, heavy fuel.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Do 808 Bear, which is better, at least one better than 807 Bear. We had 807 Bear in here not long ago. What a piker 807 Bear was. Just a piece of crap. 808 Bear, one better. So thank you, 808 Bear. Thank you for being here. Now, Jersey Joe, please tell the peeps where you can be seen, where and when and all of that stuff, because if I cannot promo my good friends, then at least what can I do?
I could be seen orbiting SHR Media's smart ass.
What?
Social media, X, Rumble, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. You can catch me on X at Jersey Joe Talks, and every Monday and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's right, on the right coast. You can catch my show where we talk about anything and everything. And I'm not as smart as BZ, so I don't have as many fancy words. I'm just a down-to-earth guy that spent 20 plus years in emergency services. And I just give my take of what I see going on in this country and politics. That's about it.
Okay.
And I want to thank you, BZ, by the way, for having me on tonight. It's always a joy. Always a joy.
Well, thank you kindly, sir. I appreciate it. And to everyone who has been listening and watching, you have my never-ending thanks for doing that. Oh, I see I have a couple more comments. 808 Bear says 907 Bear is a good heart. Okay, and see, here's why my chatters and my commenters and my watchers are the best, because 808 Bear picked up the fucking joke and ran with it. That's why they're the best. And the 808 bear says something similar to, does the show finish now? I think I have an answer. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thanks for listening to BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show, live and direct right here on the SHR Media Network on a strange and weird and baffling Sunday night. A free bonus Sunday night show. I had too much gurp backed up in the bile ducts. I didn't get to any of it. I tried to clear my baffles. I tried to do a crazy Ivan, but no damn way. I didn't get to it. And so perhaps that means that it's time to tell you that promotional consideration is by the Lockheed Martin Skunk Works, also by Shure and Electro Voice microphones, also by Arrakis, who make the mixer that I use over to my left. And also thanks to the Pratt & Whitney Engine Company, producing dependable engines yielding thrust you can trust. And wait, tiaras are by My Little Pony. And thanks to my personal KC-135 Kettle One refueling team, with whom I shall be consorting in just a couple of minutes. So to everybody, God bless you all. Have a great weekend and a great Monday. Good night. Take care.
Everybody quiet down now and get some sleep.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, Mama. Good night, Ben. Good night, everyone.
Good night, Mama. Good night, Daddy.
Good night, children. Good night, Daddy. Good night, Elizabeth.
Good night, John Boy. Good night, Jim Bob. Good night, Jim Bob.
Good night, Jim Bob.
What's going on? I was asleep. What's everybody doing?
Good night,
Good night, Jim Bob.
Good night and good luck.